Welcome again to Milano Climbing Expo 2020 at Urban Wall Gym in Milan. We are resuming our competitions. So commentator Marzio Ricci and Marzio Nardi, Nicoletta speaking and Antonella with me in the translation booth. Okay, let's go off with the qualifications. With the semi-finals results. So see who will go into the finals. Here we are. So, lead semi-finals results. Number 1, Anak Verhoeven. Number 2, Anna Stora. 3rd, Laura Ogora. 4th, Chiasa Calan. 5, Claudia Ghisolfi. 6, Martina De Preto.
Abbiamo una grande esclusa perché Markovic rimane esclusa.
Mina Markovic surprisingly is out of the finals, but it was the competition formula, the duel, that of course awarded speed, and Mina Markovic is not known for her sort of being so fast a climber. As for men, we have Marcello Bombardi, Jörg Verhoeven, Stefano Carnati, Stefano Ghisolfi, Davide Colombo, Nicolò Balducci. Spain is out, so we were hoping to see the Spaniards in the finals, but unfortunately they were left out. And but now the boulder athletes are coming out for their semi-finals. We'll explain how the competition is going to run. So there's 4 problems. The athletes have tried during the day. During the comp, we will see a boy and a girl competing on the wall. So we'll start with the right wall with the first problem for ladies, and the orange problem is that for gentlemen they will have 3 minutes, but they'll be able, it's 3+ actually, meaning they can actually start the block if they're, they can stay on the block after 3 minutes if they're on it already. And these are, the usual, the scoring system is the usual one. So attempts, zone, stops in reversed order actually. So we can thank the boulder setters, Martino Sala, Andrea Zanone, Franz Padea. So we'll now call the athletes, call them in, and we can start with the ladies. Petra Campana, Miriam Pogu, Giulia Medici, Eva Hammermüller, Camilla Moroni, Katia Kadic, Katarina Sarvain, Rong Yang, Fanny Gibert, and Stasia Gayo. And for the boys, Philip Schenk, Pietro Biagini, Stefan Schenk, Eneko Carretero, Anze Peha, Gabriele Moroni, Nils Favre, Alex Kazanov, Gregor Vizonik, and Yufei Pan. And the special thing in this competition is that there's no isolation. The athletes will be able to watch each other, and that's very sort of important to tell, because if they had any doubts about the right beta, they might watch their competitors and sort of copy the beta. So the crowd is cheering. And the first 2 to start will be Peter Campana, Italy, and Philip Schenk, Italy. One on the left, one on the right. Peter qualified from the previous qualifiers yesterday, and the same for Philip Schenk. So 3, 2, 1, go. And the 3 minutes have started. Still a moment to view the block. Philip is asking for the hole to be brushed. Peter breaks the ice, and she's on the boulder. So first dyno, okay. Second dyno, okay. At first attempt, that's excellent. Now a Gaston for Peter, and Philip is on too. So Peter has reached the top and has topped the boulder number 1. So it's in the bag. And Philip Schenk is running out of time. But taking it very relaxed. Of course, the female problem has long reaches and is more physical at the top, while for the boys, of course, it starts very physical too. They've tried the problems this morning and they've chosen their beater. The fact that they could try with the others has made it a little bit easier because they could, in fact, sort of work out other people's beater as well. But of course, remember that there's, in such a short time, there's actually 2, maximum 3 attempts possible, but we'll see. 50 seconds left for Philip Schenk, one of the very young Italians, whom, you know, has competed in World Cup already. He is about to start his second attempt. Come on, Philip. Come on, let's support him. Because he's got to really break the ice and try to sort of top the problem.
E non vibra, e non oscilla, dai Philip.
You see, he used the toe hook there to really, you know, help with body tension. No way. The press didn't work. The arm press on the Gaston didn't really work. So let's move to the next 2 athletes. Miriam Fogu, qualified from last night, and Pietro Biagini, again qualified from last night. Clearly now there's pressure for the girls because they know that in order to pass the semi-finals, they have to top this boulder. No problem for Miriam on the first boulder so far. While Pietro uses his own beater for the start, and Miriam, meanwhile, tops the problem. Pietro Camperson now trying a toe hook. A different beater altogether for Pietro Biagini. And very nice toe jam. And there we go with the top. Well done for Pietro, well done for Miriam. And he has avoided the crossover Philip did. And so that was a very successful beta for him. Very well done. Now it's a turn of Giulia Medici and Stefan Scherz, both from Italy. Some brushing of the holds and off they go. Stefan is a young athlete. Giulia has a first attempt which fails on the first dyno, while Stefan is going up a different beta altogether with the Gaston, and off he is and tops the problem. Well done, Stefan. He made it very easy. He cruised the problem and then used the Gaston solution, which is not bad. So let's cheer up and support Giulia now. Off she goes with the first dyno. No, she missed it. It was a near miss, but she missed it. She couldn't stick it, actually. Clearly, on these dynos, you know, taller athletes have longer levers, and it's easier for them on these dynos, while Giulia's probably a little shorter, and so it's more difficult. It's about coordination, core, not swinging out too much, because that, you know, really pulls you off the holds. 1 minute left for Giulia, but she can't stick the dyno. It's actually a bad enough sloper, and she can't control her body swinging, but we're sure she can do it. Seems like she can stick it, but right at the end of the swing, she comes off the hold. And again, it is very important to, you know, swing out as little as possible. So a lot of coordination goes into this first dyno. A pity for Giulia, but she's still got 3 boulders to go. And so it's now the turn of Eva Hammelmüller and Eneco Carretero from Spain. So a little brushing of the holds. 3, 2, 1, go. Eva is cruising at the start of this problem, and we'll see what Eneco is going to do on the right, while Eva again is going up and tops the boulder. Well done, Eva. And now Eneko tops the boulder too. Well done for him too. And so it's now the turn of Camilla Moroni and Anze Pehar. Anze, of course, is used to World Cup climbing, although he's very young. And the same is true for Camilla Moroni. And Camilla's the first to start. She sticks the dyno, now moves on the big sloper. She looks like she's having no problem in getting to the top. And top it is. Well done, Camilla. A new method from Anze Pehar, holding the volume, the pyramid, and go with it. And it is a top for Anze Pehar as well. The Slovenian was really very good. His interpretation is great, and his beta was very interesting. Helped him remain, compact with his body. And this probably, made it less easy to go for a dynamic beta. Now we have Katja Kadic from Slovenia and Gabriele Moroni from Italy. Gabriele Moroni, of course, is a veteran of the boulder competitions, although he doesn't compete much in World Cup lately. So 3, 2, 1, off you go. They're both off the ground. Of course, Katja knows what she's doing. Here we have a campus move for Gabriele as a beta, while Katja doesn't seem to have much problem in reaching the top. And this is Gabriele topping the problem as well as Katja. Well done for both of them. Yeah, very good to watch. Both very sort of smooth in climbing. So very interesting. They really cruise this problem. Now, Katarina Saravan and Neil Pavre. 3, 2, 1, go. And it's 3 minutes for them too. Now the athletes know they have to top the problem. Katarina fails to stick the first move, and Niels Pavre, great specialist on rock climbing. He's well known for his rock climbs. And top for him, no problems. He's really cruised this problem. And Katarina had a little indecision at the very start, but now she's really cruising the rest of the problem. tops it as well. So second attempt for her. So Zhao and Alex Kazanov, Zhao from China and Alex Kazanov from Israel. Of course, Alex Kazanov is well known to all the World Cup watchers. 3 minutes is really such a little time with the athletes. Jarong fails to stick the first dyno, while Alex seems to have found his beater. He's well known to be a strong climber and cruises this problem until he gets the top. So top for him. Congratulations. And he found the problem very easy, while Jarong is sticks the first dyno. And now she's tackling with the rest of the moves. The Chinese national team is trained by an Italian coach, Alessandro Paggiana. Come on, come on, the crowd is cheering. No way. She's the only athlete to fall at the top. Gaston is pretty physical though, and it's very important to press on the left foot there. She probably didn't press enough on her left foot, but in fact she fell. We still have 1 minute. And okay, we have a replay of Alex Kazanov's top, while Jarong goes for a last attempt, but she misses the first dyno. So that's it for Jarong. And now we have Gregor Vezonik and Fanny Gilbert. So there we are. Gregor from Slovenia, Fanny from France. But both of them are well known to watchers of the World Cup circuit because they're very active in competition. Fanny swings but manages to hold and stick the move. Looks like they're both in different ways cruising their problem. Gregor Vezonik gets the top, and Fanny again a top with no problem. So very easy for both. They are the very last athletes, Yufei Pan and Stasia Gayo. So Yufei Pan from China, Stasia Gayo from Serbia, and off they go. So Yufei should appear in a second. Stasia sticks the first dyno at first attempt, while Pan emerges from that little cave and easily reaches the top and skips it. So well done for Yupei Pan. We're all surprised by the fall of Stasia Gayo. She's won World Cup competitions, but with boulder you never know. Gaston for her. Stasia's now reaching the top and matching. So it's a top for her too. So this matching was a bit critical, but of course, remember that they've had boulder qualies or boulder attempt this morning, so we now move to the left of the wall.
It's interesting to see that the problem on the left has very big holes, very visible as well, white and purple. But it's really quite complicated to understand what kind of pressure can be used onto these holes. They have a dual texture, shiny and matte, so it's a question of deciding where hands and feet can end up holding on. It'll be interesting to see. We're going to start with males on the left-hand side. For women instead, the yellow holes. So again with Petra Campana on the right-hand side and Philip Schenk on the left. Let's give them a round of applause to start. Go. I'm really curious to see this problem on the left-hand side. Huge holes, but Philip will try and get them all, one after the other. And Petra immediately starts off. Philip had a strange movement, launching with both hands, and then while you launch, it's really quite complicated to change the pressure to hold on to the hold. Petra holds it, she's absolutely great. Philip starts again. For women, the movement is really unusual. You need a lot of accuracy, a lot of concentration. And here he goes. Philip does it. Incredible. Come on, Philip. Yeah, very careful. And he looks for the tiny little hole for his thumb. And here he gets it, top. Philip Schenk, whilst Petra Campana is trying again. on the right-hand side. Pure spectacle for Filip Schenk, a great interpretation of this problem, and big applause to the setters who created something spectacular. Petra still has a minute to go. The first move for the males problem is quite challenging. Yes, longer levers will make the difference there too, but it's a question of coordination of movements. And the problem is really spectacular to watch. 28 seconds for Petra. She has a last try. Here, obviously, the tactics is important. You might want to start immediately saying, yes, I can certainly do that movement, but it's very important to rest for a while, allow muscles to recover. This is her last, so let's help her out to the very end. Petra gets to the zone. It was great, but unfortunately Petra didn't make it, so let's give her applause. It's very important to keep the body compact there and hold on with your feet so that you can couple that hold, the zone, and get to the bigger one so as to proceed. Now Pietro Biagini and Miriam Fogu. Lots of pressure for these athletes. 3, 2, 1, go. Come on, Miriam. Come on, Pietro. Miriam has already started with her solid shoulders. Pietro makes it with a killer movement at the beginning of the problem. Pietro's great, whilst Miriam unfortunately falls. Pietro is capable of putting his thumb onto the slimy hold, I would say. And there is a lot of tension as well, because everything has to be done in a hurry. Come on, Pietro, it's there, so you got it almost. Pietro's got his hand on the top. Come on, Pietro, no. Unfortunately, this killer knee bending was at the very limit, so it was thrilling for Biagini, who was really, really good. His knee drop, unfortunately, didn't allow him to finish it off. A very technical problem, and both of them very physical. Especially the one for men is really spectacular. It's something really beautiful to look at. You need a lot of physical strength, you need to be compact, but at the same time you've got to be technical and relaxed somehow. Yes, that's why. That's what we were saying before. You know, in the past you just focus on the strength of the fingers. Now they're full athletes, and Pietro needs pressure on his hands, on his legs. In fact, the whole of his body trembled slightly. Obviously, the left foot with the drop knee was not closed completely, and this did not allow him to be totally compact and put his hands onto the top. Come on, Miriam. Miriam tries again whilst Pietro is recovering. Come on, Miriam. Miriam got to the zone. Okay, no, unfortunately, again, Miriam slips. Unfortunately, the right foothold isn't strong enough for Miriam. Again, Pietro on the killer movement, but again, he slips off. One last, no. Unfortunately, both of them didn't make it. Miriam and Pietro will move on to the third problem. Now, Giulia Medici and Stefan Scherz. Stefan and Giulia are ready. 3, 2, 1, go. 3 minutes to go. The intensity of this second problem has increased, especially the one for women. You have to be extremely accurate with a tiny little pyramid. You have to have your right foothold really strong with a toe hook. Stefan was very coordinated and is going up quite well. That must be a terrible torsion. You should have an extra joint to be able to do it. Come on, Giulia. Giulia got to the zone. There she is. It was a wild method. A small contracture to her trapeze. Well, she was trying to toe hook where hand was. Let's see whether this solution will solve the possibility of going beyond the zone of the yellow problem. 1 minute 45 for them to go. Obviously, they've got to be careful and obviously rest a while before they try again. Come on, Stefan. Stefan started really quickly, almost automatically in his first movement. Come on, Stefan. Yet, unfortunately, he's down again. Whilst Giulia, oh no, Giulia had her foot slip. She was probably slightly distracted in positioning her toe, but we still have more than 1 minute to go. A lot of tension for this problem. Yes, the women's problem is really difficult. Let's see the next athletes. Whilst the first movement for men seems to be easy. Look at Stefan. I mean, he does it almost automatically. Look at that. It's beautiful. He jumps a bit higher and he can find himself at the right position, but then he can't go any further. He'll have to train a bit more to hold on to. Come on, now we're all with Giulia. Come on, let's help her. She's trying again. Come on, Giulia. No way, Stefan is trying his last one. Look at what he's doing. No way, no. Still, both very good. Unfortunately, Biagini made us dream for a moment. Now we have Eva Hammelmöller and Eneko Carretero. You see the type of compression you need to have to actually load on with your right hand side. 3, 2, 1, go. Eneko started, but this first movement is quite complex. We know that already. Well, Steva gets to the zone. Let's see what she does here. What's her method? Alas, she was trying to go to the big volume by loading onto her left toe, but unfortunately she didn't make it. Eneko is a bit shorter than the others, so he has to pull a lot more to actually exploit his left hand underclip. Just slightly less than 2 minutes to go. Yes, great Eneko, got it. Here he might be advantaged by the fact that he's a bit shorter. Unfortunately, he was a bit in a hurry, but incredible. I mean, he loaded onto the left in an incredible manner not to slip. Eva starts again. Come on, Eva. There she goes onto the zone, and this is easy. Now, let's see. A big clap of your hands. No way. And Eneko, in the meantime, is up again. But no way. 15 different methods. Yes, he tends to try in different ways to actually load a lot with his right arm onto the volume to actually keep to the wall, but certainly it's a very hard problem. The fact that he's a bit shorter than the others creates a bit of a problem at the beginning, but should make the problem slightly easier for him towards the end. This latest method doesn't seem to be advantageous for him, but still, 30 seconds to go. I want him to do it. Come on, Eneko. To my command, 1, 2, 3, come on. Get to the top. And Eva, once again, tries to exploit the fact that she is pretty tall. Come on, Eneko, one last one with 7 seconds to go. Try. Yeah, so Eneko tries for his last time. No way, unfortunately. And Eva instead is at her zone, but alas, she falls once again. So apart from Pietro Biagini, who tried to solve the second problem, we didn't see great lights at the end of the tunnel. Now we have Camilla Moroni and Anse Behak. Anse has an unpronounceable surname to me, but 3 to 1, off they go. Come on, Anse. He was a bit stretched. Come on, Camilla. Camilla's going up. Fine. She's quite dynamic. Great. She got there. Oh my God, she slipped. Anse is going through this movement. Probably 3 of your vertebrae get luxated, but look at what he's doing. He deserves it. He's got to finish it because he's really deserving it a lot. With the Thumb Kate. Come on, we've got to push him to the very end. His leg goes up with a drop knee. Oh no. Congratulations, because this technical movement is great. A big round of applause for the setters, because everything depends on them. The type of tension you get throughout the competition, a lot depends on the problems being set. Come on, Camilla. Your turn now. Camilla's at the zone. And there... No way. The problem for men is really great. It really is spectacular Philip Schenk was the first one to be able to close it and to get to the top relatively easy, and is the first one. So obviously we need to appreciate that, because now we see how difficult it is for all the others to reach first the zone and even less the top. Philip, in fact, got it with great ease. Oh, once again, Anse was a bit too stretched, so unfortunately didn't make it. And now Camilla starts again. Philip Schenk was almost a dream, but he made it. Come on, Anse, you can do it. You can still do it. Do it slowly, that's it. Now, compression. Come on, come on. Come on, let's give him some support. It's his last chance. Let's help him out. Pull that leg up, come on. Yes. There we go, great. A great spectacle with his thumb. It went into the little hole where the hold is actually connected to the wall. So he kept it there, stable, with the second top of this wonderful problem. Yes, a good vibration in his buttocks, I've noticed, which made us appreciate this problem even more, together with its difficulty. Now we have Katia Kadic and Gabriele Moroni. Let's see whether we have some magic now again for Gabriele and Katia. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Come on, Gabriele is up already, and here he goes. Gabriele, in fact, is just incredible with these types of movements. He was probably born with this type of movement in mind. Come on, Gabriele. Come on. Yes. Absolutely incredible, yes. Great. Gabriele Moroni got to the top really easily. He's like a magician. He was absolutely great with his launch with both hands to the top. That means knowing when and how to risk it. This is typical of just very few, I would say, and Gabriele is one of them. Katia Kadic. Oh, come on. We need this problem to be solved. It seems to be more complicated than what it looks like. What looks like the easiest possible solution, in fact, isn't at all. And Katia Kadic asks for further brushing on top. One minute and 5 seconds still to go for Katia Kadic. Gabriele Moroni showed the solution of this problem with greatest ease. For his drop knee, which basically avoided altogether in this case. Come on, Katia. Everything seems to be fine to this point. From here, show us how you can move away from the zone up. Come on, Katia. We want you. No way. Unfortunately, also Kadia Kadic didn't make it. Time's up for her last trial. And now we have Katarina Zauwein and Nils Favre. Who can start right now? Let's see whether experience makes the difference for the women's problem. Sure, we're here to wait and see. Come on, Katarina. Nils tried, and Katarina slipped off as well, but they both probably have to warm up a bit. 2.5 minutes to go still, so lots of things can still be done. Nils starts again, almost. He was a bit too stretched to get to the second hold. The first movement actually depends a lot on your leg and your coordination capabilities. So you have to launch the left leg onto the big left volume, which is the starting point and the way to be up. Stefan Scherz got there really high onto the second volume, and this allowed him to exploit the overhang. Okay, off he goes, Nils. And now we are curious to see. The position seems to be very good. He's looking for the thumb hole. Come on, there he goes. Pull up your leg. And there he gets with one hand to the top. Yes. And that was of fundamental importance. It was important to actually get between the two volumes with his leg. Yes, an athlete who's been capable to try something different from what Moroni did still, but made it. Rong Yang and Alex Kazanov are now ready to go. 3 minutes. We must all look at the first and last movement for the males' problem. Look at the speed with which Alex is going up. Well, yeah, he knew he could make it, and he could do it really, really quickly. It's like a ladder for him. Top, straight away. Great. And now let's have a look at Rong. He was really good. It looked really, really easy. Maybe slightly nervous at the beginning, but then it became very fluid. Rong gets to the zone, but once again, no way. Everybody is focused on this part of the problem. Has anybody actually gotten to the top? Yes, they tell me somebody did it this morning, so we have hope of seeing it tonight as well. Spadea did it, I'm told. No, that's not true, of course. But anyway, Franz Spadea is one of the boulder setters. So for him goes this applause as well. A big applause for him, though. That's what he deserves. Rongyang starting again with 1 minute 15 seconds to go. We hope she can go beyond the zone. Come on, Rong. No, unfortunately, she didn't make it, and she gives up. She's the only one who's renounced both the first and the second problem. Now I'm obviously betting everything on Fanny Gibert. And then together with her, we have Gregor Vedzonik. So, ready to go, start. Gregor is doing it with, it seems, a certain ease. Oh, come on. Come on, Fanny. Fanny gets to the zone. Gregor. And Fanny puts her foot onto the hold, and it's a ladder for Gregor. And Fanny is the first one to go beyond the zone. Fanny gets to the top. Great. That's right, Marzio. We were all betting on Fanny, and she was great. She was the only one who could actually put her foot where her hand was. She was the only one to make it, and then after that she went quite easily to the top. It was worth watching her. Now we have Stasa Geyo and Pan Yufei Pan, the last two on the second problem. 3 minutes to you. Come on, Yufei. Yes. Super Ninja Yufei. And now he has to push. And in the meantime, Stasa gets to the zone. The Chinese athlete Yufei actually adopted a different solution. Stasha, unfortunately, almost made it, but unfortunately slipped. Come on, Yufei. Push, that's great. The movement is fine. Let's see what he does now. Yes, that's right. The palm of his hand is now onto the second big hold. And I mean, this is just monstrous. The strength and the coordination he used here. Foothold and his first hand onto the top. Precarious foothold, but still he gets to the top. Great. The Chinese athlete used his own system, his own solution to actually pull up his right foot. So really great. Another solution to be seen here. And Stasha starts again. getting to the zone is no problem for Stasha. She's actually aiming at skipping one, but that seems to be too difficult for her, so she decides to pass. Okay. Let's call here the authors of this bit of a joke for these two problems. Stefan Scarperi and Francesco Spadea, Andrea Zanone, Lorenzo Puri, and Martino Sala should come over. Then for lead, again, Martino Sala together with Gabriele Moroni and Alberto Gnerro. Have been decided for these problems. They are the boulder as well as lead setters, and they themselves had to take their own risks by proposing obviously difficulties which are obviously at the limit of the athlete's capabilities, but this obviously creates the real competition because we want to get the best out of each athlete. Now we move to the right-hand side of the wall. We start again with the same athletes we've seen until now. So Petra Campana and Philip Schenk.
Campana and Philip Schenk. Of course, Philip has to confirm his good achievements in the previous problems. So the time has started, the countdown has started. Just look at the overhang and look at those pyramidal volumes. So there's a first coordination movement for the female problem. So definitely needs some sort of learning. While Philip is on these very small crimps. But Petra sticks the coordination movement at the start. So we are on Petra now. And unfortunately, Philip just near misses a crimp. So it's Petra's time now. And of course, everyone is looking at her, but she fails the placement of her left foot. So really, this is a sort of wall climbing for the ladies and a rather more brutal climbing, at least for the fingers, in the men's problem. So strength and precision for the boys. See that sort of all the crimping moves need a lot of precision. Really, these crimps really have to be sort of taken with caution. And of course, you can't do lots of attempts in 3 minutes. So also consider they're tired from this morning qualifiers, and better, rather than qualifiers, than trying these problems. So zone for Petra. Has to be very precise to go to the top. She tried to swim with the top, and now Philip Schenk on this extreme crimping move. And he has his fingers taped too, while Petra is back on. She knows it's her last attempt. Yeah. setter have envisaged a problem with great precision and great strength alternatively. And so this is the last move, but she really doesn't seem to be sticking it, which is a pity, of course. So it's the rotation sees Pietro Virgini now and Miriam Pobu. So 3, 2, 1, go. So the men's problem is very different from the others because it's really crimpy. One must be very precise. While Miriam gets the zone hold, Diego's off the wall, and Miriam is trying the last tricky move. And she gets it, she sticks it, so it's stopped for her. So Miriam, first attempt. She sends the boulder. So Pietro is left to solve. He has a little less than 2 minutes left to send the boulder. Yeah. The right here is very important. There's a very precise heel hook that makes a difference if you can stick it. So here we go. It goes on again, back on the wall. Really proves very tricky. Yeah, you have to be solid but also very precise there because the footholds have no great grip, and so you have to press with the foot exactly where the hold actually enables you to. And also you have to get very solid to the zone holds with such precision and delicacy. So Pietro is now rethinking and resting from the previous efforts. Got less than 15 seconds left. But of course the crowd is cheering. No way. No way for Pietro. No top for Pietro. So now come Giulia Medici and Stefan Scherz. Yeah, I was noticing the different style in boulder setting. The first boulder was more physical on round and long reaches. The second one more technical and dynamic. This one on a crimpy hold. And as you said, Luca, there's a great variety of sort of skills being tested here. In fact, athletes can really show their skills on different styles. Julia sticks the first coordination move, while Stefan gets the two crimps but can't stick them. still on the problem, still on the wall, and she's attempting the last move, which proves pretty tricky. Pity for Giulia. Yeah, the last move in the women problem is really very tricky. There's this swing to the left, which is very difficult, and it's important to push with the feet because it's a feet that gives you that sort of translation trust. While Marzio, as for the lead finalists, it will start at 8:15. So lead finals start at 8:15. So here, the two athletes also trying not to waste too many attempts. They both know this. Now Giulia is back at the zone. She already had the zone in previous attempts. And now she's come to the last move. She's really got to push with that left foot, although it's an awkward position. Okay, again, 8:15. The lead competition starts, the lead finals start. Still Stefan and Giulia. We want to see a top from both athletes, of course. Stefan is off the wall, while Giulia is still on, but no longer so. So only Miriam topped the problem so far. We're here to, it's the turn of Eneko Cariteo and Eva Hammelmüller. Okay, so first dyno for Eva is good. The crimpy section is good for Eneko, but Eneko falls while Eva is reaching the top. Let's see if she can match it. Yes, of course she can. So first attempt, she flashed the problem. Very well done. As I was saying, of course, if you're a little longer, you probably have a easier time in the last move to the top. Smaller athletes in the female problem have to sort of make a dyno, which is a little bit more of a problem. Eneko back up on the wall. But no way. Of course, that crimp is really insane. Although the boulder setter stated it was a good crimp, but it doesn't look like a good one at all. So 1 minute practically to go for Eneko. Of course, athletes start having problems with, muscle tiredness, muscle fatigue, skin problems. And so Eneko gives up, but of course, it was a good show anyway. Now Camilla Moroni and Ange Peha. So again, we're on the wall. Camilla sticks the initial dyno. And Ange is now in the crimpy section. See how Camilla does on the last move. She just reached it, but that is enough for her to match it and get the top. Well done, Camilla. Great solution. She didn't do a leg split, but she solved the problem anyway. Now Ange Peha is asking for a little silence. Of course, the Italian crowd is pretty loud. Now he wants support, and the Italians can really be loud, as you all know.
Dai che ci siamo tutti! Dai che bracchiamo come si deve! Vai Anze! Sì! Vieni! No!
And misses the brutal crimp, the insane one. And I don't know if that's the best solution, the technical commentator is saying, but maybe it would be important to use a drop knee to get a little more static and not swing out so much. This is a replay, of course. Yeah, remember that this is very hard on the fingers, but also it peels the skin off, so MC saying this attempt won't count, but of course it does for the judges.
Sì che lo arco! Sì che l'arriccio! Sì che l'arriccio! Niente, dobbiamo ancora vederlo completamente
So we
questo movimento.
still
Chissà se sarà
want to see this problem being solved. And next come Katia Kadic and Gabriele Moroni.
Sono i prossimi, prego.
Of course, again, you will know, most of you will know Katia Kadic and Gabriele Moroni, but especially Katia from World Cup competitions.
Contro il mostro, Gabri. Dai, gente. Se c'è qualcuno che lo può fare, Gabriele
Off
Moroni.
you go. The crowd really cheering loud for Gabriele.
Tutti qua per Gabriele.
Gabo seems to stick the insane crim.
E poi delicato, bellissimo,
And the second crim. And just misses the next hold. Or better not, doesn't stick it. Gabo is so light on the crims, of course. He's disarming to watch. While Katya's got to the final move. And she gets it. She gets a top. So well done for Katya. And now, all the eyes are on Gabriele Moroni. Of course, these are brutal holds, brutal crims, and also there's, you have to be very precise in, getting out of the volumes, and you need to control the swings to get to the insane crims. And this is a pretty extreme block or problem for the fingers, and you have to control your body from swinging out if you want to stick the crims. Great support for Gabriele, of course, from the crowd. Okay, so zone hold. Got on the previous attempt, but he misses it this time. And so let's move to the next two. Niels Faber and Katarina Sarabine. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So Katya sticks the first move. And cruises the problem. She really cruises it. So let's see her on the last, but she misses the top. While Niels is crimping. The insane crimp doesn't hold him. His fingers are hurting madly. And it's a problem with the swing. You have to be very quick and precise, but the crimps are very small. And of course, Niels is trying to recover his fingers and have them hold again. And once you got the two crimps, it isn't finished, because the next move is hard too, because the body tends to swing on the left or towards the left, and so you have to be very precise and keep as still as possible with your body, because your holds are very small, and even the crimp or the hold on the volume needs great precision.
Vai, sciogliti per noi.
Okay, again, no problem in attacking the first move.
Che ci piace. Vai, cade.
Crowd cheers Katarina Sarva, and of course, they know her. But she just can't jump to the top. Yeah, if you go static, it's really hard. Meanwhile, Niels Pap starts for his last attempt. And okay, the attempt is over for him. Yeah, you just can't do more than 2 attempts on the men's problem because it really is so intense. And now we see Jarong and Alex Kazanov. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Alex, mi è piaciuto, prima.
So all the hopes now in Alex Kazanov for the men's.
Sono a casa. Vado a fare la spesa. Cosa mi manca? Sì, Alex. Chi sei?
And of course, great silence and now great cheers for Alex Kazanov. It looks like he's cruising this boulder, and he is. Yeah, fingers hurting, he says. And in fact, it is a boulder problem you can't make many attempts on, while Jarong still hasn't solved her problem. And even the final dyno looks so light. And this problem really sort of, you need to send it in 1 or 2 attempts, otherwise your finger just burns. And Jarong sticks the first dyno. So she gets a zone. And slowly moves towards a final move. She's using the static method, which proves to be a little awkward for her. She's not very tall. She's not one of the tallest athletes. So she gives in. And now the turn of Gregor Vizonik and Fanny Gibert. Both World Cup athletes. No problem in the first swing for Fanny. And no problem so far for Gregor Vizonik. Slip. While Fanny has reached the last move, but she gets it so easy. Okay, so it's stopped for Fanny. Please note how all the problems have been sent, and it's not easy for the boulder setters with these athletes to, really calibrate the difficulty, but we've had at least one top for all problems so far. And we got to the last athletes, Yufei Pan and Stasia Gayo. So they're the two last athletes in the waiting for the watch stop to. There we are. Easy first swing out for Stasia. Easy start for Yufei Pan too.
Dai Sasha, guarda qua che vincono questo. Selvaggio.
A wild method for Yufei Pan, but interesting. Sasha easily reaching the top of this problem. So there again, loud cheers in the gym. While Yufei Pan tries to pull down his fingertips, we admire his beta, which could work well actually if the tendons hold. The technical commentator is saying, then sort of the beta is good.
Le dita leggere. Dai. Sì. Guarda. Dai cazzo. Dai.
He didn't stick it. He touched the hole but didn't stick it. Of course, this method is much harder because you have to dyno with your left foot on, and you need a lot of coordination to grasp the small hold on the volume. And it's a much broader movement, of course, swing. But, okay, it's his own beta, and see whether he can stick it. He likes tough problems, and he's going for a tough beta. Own hold for him, but he had it the previous attempt. And he just misses sticking that hold.
So now we have a long show with the last, fourth and last problem. For men, we've moved from micro holds to pyramids, another very dynamic problem where coordination is key. Just volumes. For women instead, a very physical problem with a lot of overhang. So a new style again, both of men and women. So back we are. Big triangles for men and big sausages for women, let's put it that way. Petra Campana and Philip Schenk will start the fourth problem. 3 minutes off. They go. Philip Schenk is doing a great competition tonight. Come on, Philip. Petra. We see how Phillips gets to his first movement. And here there's a strong pressure on the right foot. Double Gaston in this case. Obviously here the setters have used their imagination to the best. Philip Schenk and Petra Campana on their fourth and last boulder. And lots will come after them. The audience seems to be a bit sleepy at this point. So come on, Philip, wake them up. And Petra. Unluckily, this swing going backward has stopped him once again. He got quite a big speed, so the outswing was too strong. So you have to compress a lot the two volumes with your shoulders to keep still, but obviously easy to say, difficult to do. Come on, can you calculate the speed? Well, I think it's 15-20 kilometers per hour. How about the pressure onto the holds? Well, it depends, you know, wind is 0, so anyway, instead for women, they have to get a toe hook to start. For women, big volumes are a bit more difficult because the volume is very physical. Philip almost got it, but then in the end he lost it. All these volumes with slippery borders. Where did you buy them? Some brushing and some resting on both sides. Come on, Philip and Petra. Off they start again. Come on, Petra. Come on, Philip. Yes, Philip. No way. Incredible. He really tried, but he's giving up now. And obviously, the last one seems to be the most difficult one. Miriam and Pietro, Miriam Fogu and Pietro Biagini are coming up next. So off they go, 3 minutes. Let's see if Pietro can get to the top. And Miriam starts. So Pietro Biagini, the method with crossed legs was fantastic. I've never seen it done that way, but in my opinion, it complies with biomechanics, Canon, right? Yes, absolutely. He was very good with that block. You have another launch, another pyramid to hold. So certainly that's not easy. Certainly Pietro finds himself at ease with this style of very physical type of climbing. Come on. Oh, no. Yes, Marzio, it's still very, very hard because there's a very strong outswing. You have to exercise a huge pressure with your hands, and if you swing out, that's it, you're off it. Come on, Miriam. Yes. No, unfortunately, you can't leave the pressure there. You've got to keep really high up onto this overhang and launch onto the big red volume they're brushing right now, so that the big wooden volume can be occupied by your feet. We still have 1 minute to go for both Miriam and Pietro. Pietro starts again. Look at what he does. That's fantastic. A magician here. The volume has been held in 5 different ways, and Pietro accelerates. Come on, Pietro. No way. Again, unfortunately, the outswing made him fall. He's probably slightly penalized by the length there. When he loses his leg on the right, he outswings a little bit. It's very, very difficult to hold that triangle because there is absolutely nothing. So you have to be very, very strong and keep low with your body weight. Last trial for Pietro and last for Miriam, but both of them are out. Now we have Giulia Medici and Stefan Scherz. We're almost ready to go again. 3 minutes, their last problem. Takes a while to get to the end of this competition, and the unlucky one who will get to the final will still have 1 problem to solve. Let's see Stefan and his method. Double Gaston with a 2 hook, but unfortunately this didn't lead him to anything. Giulia? Giulia has to keep very high with this undercling. I know she can do it. That's true, Marzio. You have to keep really high with a strong hook on the left-hand side and launch with your left hand onto the big volumes. You have to be fast and keep very, very high with your left heel. Stefano, let's have a look at what he does. Come on, Stefan. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Hopla. It's the return outswing that blocks you. The Biagini system looked easy. Here we have Giulia starting again, as well as Stefan. Stefan lost his grip, whilst Giulia is trying to keep really high up with her legs. But again, rushing again for them to rest for a while. 1 minute to go. Last minute for Stefan. No. Giulia Medici is on the problem again. Almost. She tried quite a number of times. Yes, the movement was the correct one. You have to be really quick, almost dynamic with your arm and the heel that push together so as to get to the higher and bigger volume. Last 5 seconds, so last trial. Yes, Stefan holds on. But unfortunately, Giulia falls. So her fourth border is over. Okay, Stefan, but it's over for him too. Also, this problem has not been solved by the two athletes. Now we have Eneko Carretero and Eva Hammelmüller. Almost ready to go, 3 minutes. With a very strong outswing, he left the second volume. Come on, Eva. Yes. She got hold of the big volume. Wow. Yes, toe hook to the right volume. So you're very, very stretched with your legs widely stretched, widely open. So it becomes really, really difficult to hold on to the big volume. Eneko tries again now. Let's have a look at his acrobatic method. Off he goes. No. He has to start again. But fingers hurt. Eva waiting a few more moments before trying again. 1 minute 30. Eneko misses the hold. This was not very coordinated. And here we have Eva again getting to the big volume. Clearly, with this launch, if you're too stretched, it becomes really difficult to hold on to the body and couple with your hands. Maybe at that point the system becomes quite complicated. Come on, Eneko. 2 legs, 2 hands, everything has to move together. He wanted to possibly try with the brutal method, but it didn't work, so off he goes again. Yes, almost. How much time do we have? 14 seconds. So Eva starts again. The very last few seconds for Eneko. End of the problem for Eva, and also Eneko has concluded. A big round of applause for both of them who get to the end of this strenuous competition. We now have Anse Peharsh and Camilla Moroni. Anse starts with the launch. Surely the system Pietro Biagini used makes things much easier. Come on, Camilla. Very good. And now high up. The fact that she's short here allows her to move better than anybody else. Absolutely great. Yes, Camilla. Very strong here. Camilla cannot make a mistake here. She has to make the right choice. She has to make the right choice. It's almost there. You can spend the whole day there, but you just need to make the right choice. Well, she's there. She just has to try it. Yes.
Do the right thing.
Camilla Moroni has been great. She was very good, Marzio. She found her own solution to this problem. She didn't use her strength. She was a bit undecisive towards the end, but she got really smaller onto that big volume to again obviously stretch her whole body at the very end. Hanse is still trying with his first movement that doesn't seem to come easily to him. The only one was Pietro Biagini, who used, if you want, an absurd method that really worked for him, avoiding a proper outswing. Also, Pietro went the highest with this problem. Yes, Pietro was very, very good because he did it his own way, but an answer decides to give up. And now we have Katia Kadic and Gabriele Moroni coming up next. 3 minutes for them as well. Waiting for Katia Kadic. Here she comes. They're almost ready to start. 3 minutes for them as well. Gabriele Moroni starts immediately. Let's have a look at Gabriel in absolute silence. Gabriele gets his first movement right onto the zone with his hands that seem to stick to the holds. I mean, he's always very strong, but on these types of movements and with these types of holds where you have to be very, very careful in moving your body, he's absolutely great. Come on, Gabriele. There you go to the top. Fantastic. Great. A real dancer onto these holds. The technique made him so light. He's so flexible and supple when he climbs. I mean, he had 3 toe hooks to hold on with his body to get to the top. Almost spectacular. Another big round of applause for Gabriele Moroni, who allows us to dream almost every time. I was saying, Marzio, all 4 problems have been topped, and this means that the setters have been really good in creating the ranking. Obviously, their experience plays a fundamental role. You've got to be able to take your own risks to guarantee a real performance on the side of the athletes. Because when you push athletes to their top, to the maximum of their capabilities, that's what makes the difference. Katia, Katia Kadic is still there, and we're all here with her. Come on, Katia, yes. This is the same method used by Camilla, and there she goes to the zone. Very good. Careful now, yes. Katia is following along the wake of Camilla. Katia deserves an applause now. Come on, use your hands, guys. Resting on the big volume. And Katia continues with a knee hook. One hand on the volume before last, and here we go to the top, and Katia tops this last problem. Great. She vibrated a little bit towards the end, but she was really, really good. Now we have Katarina Zauwein and Nils Favre. In the last bit of the problem for Katia, it was a bit more complicated. Anyway, we went down to 3 minutes once again, so both Katarina and Nils can start the last boulder. Katarina starts. And seems to move quite easily to the big volume. Nils as well does his first movement with a big swing and gets to the zone. Katarina unfortunately loses the zone, but let's follow Nils on the left-hand side. He's up on the first triangle at his first trial. Not many people could do this. Only one, Gabriele. Let's see what Nilsson does. Nils is almost there, and there he gets to the top. Absolutely great. Very good. Yes, Nils was really strong here because he climbed it very, very well right from the beginning. Again, with 3-2 hooks to actually load the left foot onto the last pyramid. A great climbing. And we're all here with Katarina for her last boulder. Still 1 minute and 20 to go. So she can rest a little longer. The last minute, but Katarina is still trying to get focused. And in the meantime, I can tell you that the urban wall is now full to follow the finals for lead and boulder. We're going to follow the boulder finals and then the lead finals tonight. Another 25 seconds for Katarina. Katarina asks for some support. She can do it. Well, here Katarina from here on might have a bit more difficulties than others, but unfortunately her arm let go at the very last moment. Now we have Alex Kazarov, whose third problem looked really easy, and then Rongyang. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Once this fourth problem will be over, look at him, look at him. Alex seems to have it easier than the others tonight. No, unfortunately, he outswung. Well, he found a slightly different system. He didn't turn his left hand to keep his body in. And then he launched with his right hand. But given that he's a bit taller, his outswing, his oscillation was a bit wider, and he lost hold. Well, maybe we should ask the setters to tell us a bit more about the difficulties they found in defining such problems. In the meantime, Rongyang is getting to the zone almost. She hooked her knee under the hold, under the volume. And Alex starts again very well with the Biagini method, so to speak. There he goes to the first triangle. Heel hook, second triangle with the left hand. Come on, Alex. Come on. Toe hook and to the top. Absolutely great. Alex Kazarov concludes his fourth boulder. He's the only one who actually got to the top to all four boulders. So he's obviously the favorite for the final, which is going to take place in half an hour. That's right, half an hour. They can't rest. Rongyang ready to move on to, unfortunately, she fell once again, and she gives up. Now we have Fanny Gilbert and Gregor Fetzonek. Fanny closed and topped the first three problems. So let's see what she does with this last one. 3 minutes for her and 3 minutes for Gregor. Gregor holds on to the first hold after his first movement, because that seems to be the right method. And also for women, yes, Gregor with a heel hook gets with his hand onto the second triangle, toe hook, both hands on the triangle. Come on, Gregor. Leg up and to the top. Yes. Very good. I'm very curious to know the names of the finalists. Yes, the Slovenian athlete did this without difficulty, it seems. very difficult compared to Alex, it looked like at the beginning, but then he topped it, even though he missed his feet hooks a couple of times. Fanny Gibert ready to start again. We know Fanny can close this boulder. And Fanny reaches the zone volume with her legs. Let's have a look at the method. Almost face to the top, and that's it. Great, Fanny. Then we have Stasa, Gaillot, and Hufei Pan, the last two athletes at their last boulder. They're almost ready. 3 minutes for them. Hufei already tried once without success, and Stasa is starting. Up she goes. Quite dynamically to the zone. Alas, she lost the grip, but it's the last one. It's a pity for Stasa because she interpreted the initial movements of this problem very well. She can use her legs properly, and she's improved, I think, compared to the first two problems. Hufei is moving quickly up above the zone. Now we need to see how he gets his toe hook. Let's see the method he's going to use. And yes, one hand to the top and the second one. Absolutely great. Hufei Pan concludes his fourth boulder with great success. Yes, also Hufei has been extremely good, especially towards the end where it was very compact. It was slightly difficult for him to reach the top, but then he actually got it without any particular problem by raising his whole body. Sasha starts again. Come on, Stasha. Let's see the method she's going to use. Yes. No, unfortunately, it's a real pity for Stasha. She renounces because she's probably very tired as well. After so many trials, after 4 problems, we're going to have the finals in 10 minutes, so don't leave us.
So in 10 minutes we have the boulder finals. So again, in 10 minutes we have the boulder finals. Meanwhile, the lead athletes will come out of isolation. Sorry, will go into isolation. And of course, we now have the president of IFSC, Marco Scolaris. I think it's great satisfaction to see Milano Climbing Expo 2020 again. It was a bet at the beginning, but yeah, it's good because we grow. This is Marco Scolari taking the floor, and there's infinite passion. And but it's you know, athletes competing while some people in the breaks climb on the free walls. So, and there's a great crowd cheering. But what is good is the way people, spend together. And I'm very happy to be here. Of course, 2020 is a special year for climbing. And my question is for you, how did you convince the CIO? Let's say, it was a great achievement. It was a great achievement, but two things must be said. First, the quality and strength of this sport really enabled us to be in the best possible conditions to propose ourselves to the Olympic movement, to the Olympic officials, and get accepted. And so internationally, it was very interesting. I think the various federations at the national level were, really believed in this project to get to the Olympic Games. And but you see also what our champions do in this sport. So we tried to imitate them, although in sort of sports politics. And at the beginning, some people thought sports climbing was too dangerous, and now slowly, I think it will, it will be accepted. And especially they had to come and see what sports climbing was. They had no idea. So they could, in fact, judge in a positive way. And they could, in fact, accept us, among the Olympic sports. Luckily, the International Olympic Committee from 2015 has really opened the way to a renewal which it had denied in the past centuries, and we were at the right place in the right moment, and therefore we've been appreciated. Yes, there's many youngsters and women in sports climbing. Yes, that is true. Well, for sure, it's a sport for youngsters, for women, of course, for men, but it's nearly a mass sport. It has nearly become a mass sport. We carried out 2 trials, and both gave us a good figure for sport climbers and boulderers, of course. And both trials have shown something like 44 million climbers around the world. And the perspective is that of growth. So this is a wonderful gym. The more gyms, the more people climb, and the more cliffs, of course, the more people climb. But if it is true that we have uh, been included in the Olympics, it is also true that the Olympic movement gains something with this sort of trio of skateboarding, surfing, and sports climbing. There's a lot to be gained, and let's hope this journey continues after Tokyo this year. We have been confirmed for Paris 2024, but our objective is not that of being confirmed time after time, but you know, be part of the Olympic agenda. I'm sure we're pretty near in this sort of achievement. We've grown in a way which was unthinkable just 20 years ago, and we have to seize the opportunity and maybe mature a little quicker than we had expected. So we have this wonderful drill going on because the boulder setter are actually making the last touches and finishing touches to the boulder problem. And a question. You had appeared in Buenos Aires 1918 in the juvenile Olympic sports, which helps young athletes to break the ice, and it's also a test sort of to go into official events. Yes, so our first appearance as a showcase we had in the juvenile Olympic sports in 2014, actually, in Nankin. And there, for the first time, the Olympic Committee saw that it wasn't that dangerous and started, believing it could be done. And then we moved on through step by step in our journey, and we got to Buenos Aires juvenile sports games, and it was the most followed sport, followed on Olympic Channel. Actually, it was the second most followed because breaking or breakdance was the first one actually to be followed on TV networks and social media or streamings. What is very interesting is that probably the old part of the Olympic Committee is, a bit against breaking or breakdance into the Olympic Games, while they don't have anything against sports climbing, which is a bridge. We are a bridge between the traditional sports and the new sports. Of course, there's athletes, so all athletes deserve respect, of course. But this position, intermediate position as a bridge, makes sports climbing a success, I think, because compared to other younger sports, we are better organized, we have rules. And so what scenario do we expect for Tokyo? Well, the wall in Tokyo is nearly finished. It's the Tokyo Olympics are the ones with the greatest number of walls, structures finished in advance, and we're not surprised. We are outdoors. Outdoors because we start a new way of doing Olympics. That is, we share the arena with 3 versus 3 basketball. And did you tell Ludovico Fossali, who qualified for sports climbing, he also loves basketball? So did you tell him? This is, of course, a joke that is not very funny, but still. And close to the sports climbing, we'll have people climbing, citizens climbing. So we'll be outdoors, which means it's going to be very hot and damp and humid. So this will, you know, need our athletes to get acclimated. We are in the second part of August, and the Olympic Village sort of opens early enough for us to be there and to get acclimated. Yes, we expect a hot. We expect to be in Naomi. We have skateboarding close, we have volleyball close to us. We are in one of the main centers of the Olympic activity. The skyline is on the Tokyo skyscrapers, so it's a beautiful location. So I know that, of course, sports, politicians and sports officials are working towards this, but we have a long way to go for medals and formulas, meaning that for now we only have one medal to be awarded, and so we had to find a compromise, which was not an easy one. For some athletes also, it's been a fairly painful journey, that of training in the 3 disciplines. And of course, anybody who climbs would know that boulder and climbing, lead, would be able to sort of train in the 2 disciplines, but for speed climbing, that's very different indeed. And so the formula to be accepted was having the 3 disciplines combined. But in Paris already, for 2024, the idea is having 2 medals. Speed as will award a method as a self-standing discipline, and then boulder and lead disciplines will be combined in a single classification. We hope in Los Angeles to get to 3 medals, 1 for each specialty. But, you know, it's a gradual process, step by step, to get to 1 medal for each specialty. So we're the only new sport discipline that actually doubles and triples the number of medals awarded in time. I think viewers will be appreciated. Some say that Tokyo will be a success because the 2 lead finals awarding medals will be broadcast as a main event by the Olympic Broadcasting Service, OBS, and they calculate an audience of over 2 billion people. The next day, we'll have millions of kids asking their parents where to go climbing, which we can give Urban Wall Gym a suggestion: be open the next day, where, after the Olympic Games. No, apart from sort of these subtleties and jokes, we have to create a memorable event in Tokyo. So thank you very much. I see no one giving me indication on what is going on. And of course, television is one of the reasons why the Olympic Committee is more open now. Yes, we too have tried to bring some innovations in the way we can broadcast, like not only being passive watching television, but especially with the OBS, our discipline, sports climbing in Tokyo will be directed by the Chinese operators and directors. But at the same time, the suggestion that got to them is that of getting the athletes involved, because if we want to be a showcase of sports climbing in the world, it is necessary for the people, for the viewers, to understand our language, to understand our jargon. And this is important because there will be normal people watching, people who are not specialized in boulder and speed or in lead, of course. So there will be people impressed by what the athletes do, but it's also important for them to understand at least roughly the rules of the game. So we're not only passive, but we listen, we watch television. So that will attract a young audience, which is not necessarily so attracted by the Olympics, but interesting synergies can be created. And there's a new way of working together, of sharing, which, of course, contaminates also the more traditional disciplines. Yes, this is very interesting because the way sports are proposed by television is not sort of to be taken for granted. I mean, think of synchro swimming, for example. So, we're a little late with the results. This won't happen in Tokyo. Mr. Skolaris is saying he's the president of the International Sports Climbing Federation. And of course, sponsors will be important too for this world. Well, yes, this shows that the sports climbing community evolves, it gets organized, it offers services and products, all that a great sport such as sports climbing deserves. So it's not only climbing, but it's also everything around it, if you want. And it's also culture. Sort of, what are the guiding countries for sports climbing? Well, I would say Italy, France, Great Britain, Russia, Germany, because Germany, I think, has the highest number of Kletterhalle of gyms, and then the United States, which right now is the country that is seeing an extraordinary number of gyms. Then Canada. South America is not that high in the rankings because of political problems mostly. And in Asia, China, Japan, and Korea. But Thailand and Indonesia are growing too. Then Australia, New Zealand. In Africa, of course, we're not that present. South Africa, of course, is present, but the interest of Olympic Committee is there because sports is seen as a social vehicle, but also as a fairly, well, a non-expensive way to sort of social growth. And of course, there's Paralympic climbing. So we know that Paralympic climbing is or wants to be part of the Olympics. Yeah, but the International Paralympic Committee is part of the International Committee, but is self-standing. And there too, we are trying, but as we said, resources are limited. So as IFSC, we have committed to having world games of paraclimbing. Although the new wording is instead of normal people, the idea and the word is athletes with not non-disabilities to mean ordinary, normal people, because normal is really an old-fashioned word in this field. And the objective in 2028, it would be ideal to enter the Paralympic agenda with Paralympic sports climbing. So we have lots of objectives, as you have heard, and as you can imagine.
Canon è presente, dov'è? Canon è in postazione, dove sei Canon? Sì, sì, sono qua, stavo ascoltando. Canon, fai una domanda al Presidente, dai, fammi... No, ma col Presidente ci conosciamo da... Pure tu sei
So the technical... Do you remember the time you went to, for the first time, to the finals of the World Cup in Austria? It was 1991. And do you remember what you did in isolation? Well, I had two intense warming up sessions because it was the first time that I was there with the great athletes, including Glovac, Lega, and Hirayama, and I was nervous. So I had an hour and a half warming session, and in the finals I just cracked up. At the time, I was in the Italian Federation, Scolaris says, and I saw Canon, who's Luca Zardini. He's a veteran of climbing. He was climbing with Glovac, with François Legan, with these athletes, and it was his first World Cup final. He's from Cortina and is now in Milano Climbing Expo Urban Wall Gym, as a technical commentator, and also he's a technical commentator for the Italian Broadcasting Corporation. So you've seen history. Yes, I would say I have. There were periods of hype. There was another period with less money. But with time, everything has evolved in a positive sense. And slowly, we started enlarging little by little, step by step. And, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned this, Luca, because I think the success, which is only one step, as I was saying, was a shared success. So clearly, in any army or group, and I'd rather use the term group than army. Of course, it's a sharing that was most important for us. We've all been at the forefront. There was no one hiding at the back. And for people who are at the forefront, to see athletes, to see friends, to see coaches, all there being motivated to achieve the same objective, well, that was so important. And that's the peculiarity of climbing. I mean, when we see athletes exchanging the beaters, that's so striking. At the Olympic qualifications in Toulouse, in France, the two Slovenian girls in the finals were competing for one place and one slot only. So they had to fight one over the other. And the best would go to Tokyo. And yet, they were watching the route together and giving each other advice and sharing advice. Yes, that's what we'll see tonight. And we have the rankings now. So thank you very much to Marco Scolaris. So thank you, and we'll see you in Tokyo. And thank you for being here at Urban Wall.
Marzio is back.
So
there you are, because you seem to disappear every half hour, Beers become too many. We have at last the names of the finalists.
Do we have them?
So we have the name of the finalists, at least for women.
So
Fanny Gilbert, Camilla Moroni, Katia Kadic, and Stasia Geijo. Here they are. Fanny Gilbert, Camilla Moroni, Katia Kadic, and Stasia Geijo. So we also have an Italian representative in the finals. How is the final going to work? Well, we have one individual problem, 4 minutes time with a classic formula. So number of trials to get to the zone and number of trials to get to the top. The athletes will have 3-4 minutes altogether to have a look at the problem, and then they'll get isolated.
Visualization of the
and start. Thank you very much for these results. Canon has given us the names of the finalists, whilst male finalists we have Alex Kazarov, Gabriele Morioni, Gregor Vetsonik, and Nils Favre. So these are the finalists for the male. So everybody comes together for the few minutes, usually 3 minutes, to have a look at the problem. They should all appear more or less together. We have 2 minutes, actually, just 2 minutes to have a look at the problem, and then 4 minutes each for both men and women. We have Camilla and Gabriele Moroni from Italy and other representatives. So 2 minutes to have a look at the problem. Or rather, they tell us 4 minutes to study this boulder to then be tackled by the different finalists. We will have a man and a woman climbing together for time reasons, because then we're going to have the lead finals. 2 minutes, the black boulder for women, the red one for males. So for women, Gaya Stasha, Kadetskacha, Camilla Moroni and Fanny Gibert. For men, Favre, Gregor Vesonek, Gabriele Moroni and Alex Kazanov. So this is the order in which they will climb. Stasha Gayo is going to be the first woman and Niels Favre the first man. 2 minutes for them. I won't dwell too much on what will happen during these 2 minutes, because obviously everybody knows that athletes obviously have to have a look at the boulder. Some of them try and simulate with their hands and even test the hold. Sure, they try and mime the gestures they'll have to make. 1 minute to go. With these volumes, the reading of the boulder is quite complex because, in fact, volumes can be held in 3-4 different ways. So obviously it's really difficult, and each of them will have to have his or her own reading of the boulder. It seems to me that the boulder for men implies a big launch to get to the 2 big volumes before the top. Well, you shouldn't suggest anything. Well, I'm just looking at it as you do. But also the start for men implies, you know, quite a bit of a jump. And for women, we have these black holes that show there is an intense Gaston to start with, and then we have 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds to go, and everybody has to leave because the competition starts now with the finals. Let's see if Canon was right. In my opinion, he was not. Don't fight. Well, we'll do that later, don't worry. Okay. We're almost ready to start, so I ask the first two, the judges are ready, the first 2 athletes to come for their final boulder. I'm told that the lead finals will be slightly later, but everything obviously will depend on how much it'll take for this problem to be concluded by all the finalists. So Niels Favre and Stasha Gayo are the first 2 finalists for this last boulder. Here they come. 4 minutes for them, starting now. Let's see. This first Gaston, then obviously the left foot must be quite high up. Another Gaston to actually get to the zone and to the top. With men, Niels started quite easily, but then there is going to be a big launch with a strong compression. Look at Stasha with a knee hook. She knew you had this knee hook clearly. Huge volumes, but tiny holes, and she's been pushed out. Probably you have to use your right hand and lift your feet up to launch yourself to the top. Only 1 minute has gone by, not even 1 minute, so we can well imagine there aren't going to be very many trials, because obviously in these 4 minutes you have to manage your efforts quite properly, not to become too tired. So Niels starts again, but slips. I said it wouldn't have been easy to start because there was one single toe you can use and you're pushing onto the slippery side of the hold of the volume, so it isn't easy. Stasha has started again. Come on, Stasha. Niels Favre as well has slapped against the volume. Come on, Niels and Stasha. Come on, Stasha got to the zone. Niels two, and Stasha gets to the top. Great. At her second trial, Stasha goes home with this boulder topped. Still 1 minute 45 seconds for Niels. Stasha clearly easily got to the top at the second trial, and this will be important for all women who will follow. They'll have to observe this boulder properly to actually flash the top possibly and win that way. Niels has understood this is a very physical boulder, so he still has slightly over 1 minute, and he knows very well he cannot try too many times. This might be the right one. Come on, Niels, and come on, let's support Niels in his last trial. 50 seconds, his last trial probably. Come on, Niels. Off he starts. Yes. Niels gets to the zone. And here, obviously, you need something magic. Yes. But unfortunately, 5, 4, 3. He still has time to start one last time, but he slips. Very good, Niels. He's been great. You've noticed, Marzio, that this launch with a double Gaston at the end is really difficult. It's difficult to avoid the outswing and compress with your both shoulders to then launch to the top. And now we have Katia Kadic and Gregor Vedzanek. Another couple of finalists with strong solidarity between them, as it often happens. Almost ready to start, 4 minutes. Gregor starts, and Katia as well. Gregor slaps the hold and gets to the zone volume. Gregor is going to try it. Yes, he made it. Unbelievable. But it's not over yet. And so, what is there to get to on top? Come on, Gregor. Pull up. Maybe he has to sit onto the final hold. Come on, Katia, and come on, Gregor. Come on. Breathe and pull your hip in. The last movement seems to be really, really dreadfully tiring. Come on, Katia. This is incredible. I mean, for these boulders to be topped, you have to be extremely strong. Come on, Katia. Yes, Katia makes it at her first trial. Great. And we have Gregor also getting with his hands to the top. So one hand and no. Incredible. This last movement, I mean, you have to sit onto the two final holds with your whole body to actually get to the top with both thumbs. Unfortunately, Gregor did it with one hand only, whilst instead Katia flashed the top, as she had to, in fact, because now for the women's competition, you have to bet on the number of trials. Come on, Gregor. 1 minute and 35 seconds to go. And I mean, up there it's like weightlifting. Yes, this last movement it must be extremely, excruciatingly tiring. Gregor tried in all possible ways. He tried to lift himself up. And clearly started again now is going to be difficult because the first launch is really hard and difficult, and it was really good at getting it the first time. I think we're going to see quite a bit of a struggle on the last movement to get to the top. Come on, Gregor. Gregor starts again. A slap on the first and on the second volume, then to the zone, and now he flies again and knows how to do it now. How can you put the other hand up there? I don't know. Greg has been absolutely great in this last trial. And here, Marzio, we're going to see something interesting for the top, because once you've gotten hold of it with the left hand, you'll have to sit on the right leg to actually use the other thumb onto the top. So now we have Gabriele Moroni and Camilla Moroni. They're not brother and sister, but they're both extremely strong. So come on, Camilla and Gabriele. Off we go, 4 minutes for both Camilla and Gabriele. They both start off. Gabriele, again, as always, extremely delicate. To the zone. And now total control. And now he has to, yes. And this was extremely clever. Yes, he's used this knee hook in an incredible manner, yes. Gabriele has been extremely strong. We still have Camilla Moroni trying her last boulder. Come on, Camilla. Yes, a big struggle now. Knee hook for her as well.
Dai Cami,
Come on, Camilla. Yes.
ci sono da lottare qua.
She only has to fight now. Come on, Camilla. Yes.
Dai gente,
Great. All together. Yes. Camilla Moroni has been extremely good. And then the last two athletes, Alex Kazanov and Fanny Gibert. We moved really quickly through this last phase of the finals. So we have Fanny and Alex ready to go, 4 minutes. They both start. Let's see if Alex can close without a knee hook. I doubt it. Come on, Alex. Fanny is already close to the zone. Alex ready to jump, and the outswing for Alex was great. Look at what he does. Yes, I can touch it, but let's see what Fanny does. Yes, she gets to the top really easily, whilst Alex is fighting with his knee. Yes. Come on. Yes. So Alex wins with all 4 boulders flashed, plus this last one to the top. Now we have the lead final, so don't leave us. Stay with us at the Milano Climbing Expo. It's 8:45, and we're going to start the lead final.